Hi guys, Nomis here. Welcome to episode 10 of the Cities Skylines series, where I'm building the city of Nomishavn. Last time I built a modern waterfront area with residential offices, marinas, and some shops and restaurant as part of our re-urbanization development of an old industrial dock area which had seen abandoned factories there for decades. I think it filled out the area pretty well and looks great between the industrial area and the older parts of the city. For this video I didn't have a big plan for what I wanted to do, but rather a few gaps I wanted to fill in. Across from the harbour I am building just some older apartment blocks, while also putting in some industrial detailing around the harbour, which I found fitting as it shares an area with the river cargo harbour. And above the modern area from last time will be just one of the older areas, being right next to the train station. Mostly older wooden apartment buildings, but also some offices, a hotel with a nice outdoor restaurant seating and a garden, as well as some cafes and shops around the area. Also, I will go ahead and finish a plaza on top of the bigger stairs that I started on last time. But before I get there, I will just quickly finish the harbour and fill in some apartment blocks. This area is a location for a very historical hotel. Being close to the train station, it has hosted traveling merchants since it opened in the late 1800s. Inside is one of the fancier restaurants in the city, and it has some outdoor seating at the start of a nice garden at the back of the hotel. Close by there are also some more cafes and restaurants with open walkable spaces, and some offices across the street where it's first floor shops. Here I'm continuing the architectural style with these great wooden apartment buildings, and this whole neighborhood has been around for quite some time. Being nestled between the tracks of the train station and the earlier industrial docks right below, this was historically a working class neighborhood. But as industry was mostly pushed away, the trains got cleaner and quieter, and the city grew bigger and more important, the area became more upscale. It's not among the more expensive addresses in Bjorgvin, but due to its earlier status, it is more open and spacious than some more central and more historically valuable areas, with a great deal of green space around. It has also been increasingly popular among families after the urban renewal down at the docks with the schools and workplaces it's brought to the neighborhood area. I wanted to create a nice and open space in this transition area between the upper and lower levels, and this was the purpose of setting up this plaza earlier. As a centerpiece, I chose the Statue of Wealth. I removed most of the props around it and added in a custom water feature to fill it out, and also added a few more decorations around the edges of the square. To finish off the neighborhood, I am putting a row of houses back onto the wall above the docks area, stretching all the way down it. Here we can see even more of that open space I talked about earlier. With the empty space in front of all the houses, there is room for a sort of a communal front garden. All the houses will have a narrow tile path leading to the door, and then I'll just fill it out with a bunch of trees, tables, bike parking and so on. Before I come on to the next part of the build, I decided to just extend out the city wall and bike path network further down, as I'm building quite close to it, and just starting to set up for some connections later on. Before public parks became a thing, it was often cemeteries that were the only open green space in dense and crowded cities for the citizens to enjoy, kind of serving two purposes. I want to dive into this and make an urban cemetery that is very close to the central areas that we built already. This is a very old cemetery and has a few graves of some very historical figures important to the city, which sees people frequently visit them. With a lot of green space, trees, benches and historical graves for people to visit, it still pretty much functions as a public park in addition to being a cemetery to this day, something it has done for centuries. I'm using a lot of custom assets for this, some that were used before, but also Sven Berlin just released a bunch of new cemetery props on the workshop, which was just perfect timing for me, and they look amazing. Lastly, I had this very small and kind of cramped empty space next to the train station, which I had no idea what to do with. There's a crematorium kind of hidden away further down, but there's still some empty space. I realized something that was missing here was a big underground parking facility for a station, which many large train stations will have. So the empty spot will pretty much hold the entrance for this facility. I really only care about the functionality of the parking underground, and I will just detail around the entrance of it on the ground level, where we can actually see it. Thank you so much for watching if you made it this far. The builds today were kind of all over the place and definitely not focused on one area like I usually do. But I did fill in some pretty significant gaps, and I think this district of the city is starting to feel a lot more complete, at least around where I built already. So as always, likes, comments and subscribes are greatly appreciated, and it would help me a lot towards growing the channel. Hope to see you next time, have a good day and stay tuned for some cinematics.
There's a shitty train, I got no sun, there's only rain, I wanna crash. And I'm